Hey everybody, this is Queen, A.K.A. Misty, and I just wanted to, I wanted to try and do a short video. For those of you who don't know me, please please go back and watch some of my other videos where I am introducing myself. I am in a nursing home, rehabbing from open heart surgery. I have the LVAD, which I talk about in my other videos. But what I wanted to talk about today is what it means to have real family. My family means so much to me. My siblings, my parents are no longer here. I have a sister who we share the same birth date, and then I have two brothers. My third brother unfortunately passed away, and if he was here, I'm going to talk about him anyway, because while I was sick, he made it his business to see me, and his name was Donald. That was my oldest. The next one is Leslie Samuels Jr. Then the next one is Venetia Samuels Wilson. Then the next one is Philip Samuels. Philip lives in Georgia. But Venetia and Junie were by my side every step of the way through my open heart surgery. I have the best sister in the world. She and her husband took the time to make sure I didn't lose my apartment. She came all the way from New York, made sure my apartment was okay. She made sure my check was signed, and we videotaped us signing the checks. She came all the way up here to make sure that people were doing what they needed to do to take care of me while I was asleep, because they wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing. So I'm going to explain. When I had open heart surgery, it was the most painful surgery I've ever had. I was very depressed because I was in so much pain. My sister and her husband and my brother Les came to the hospital. They made sure I had what I needed, like headphones. They brought me, my sister's husband brought me stands for my telephone to make sure I was okay. My brother brought me a t-shirt that my cousin Eric Myers got me. You know, there's very few family members that reached out to me, and the ones that did, I'm very grateful for. I can't name all of them, but they know who they are. Eric Myers, he did something very special for me. He brought me a Valley Day t-shirt. And for those of you who know me, you know how special that is to me. That was a wonderful thing he did. That meant the world to me, to buy me a Valley Day t-shirt. But I'm getting back to my sister. I'm sorry I drift off. My stroke stops me from keeping on track. But I'm not going to use that as an excuse. My sister came back and forth, came back and forth to make sure my checks were signed. She was my power of attorney. She did so much for me. Made sure her husband came to stretch out my limbs. When I went through my first rehab after open heart surgery, I fell and ended up on life support and a respirator. And then I had a trach. But the first rehab I went to, they didn't stretch out my limbs. And I ended up like this. I don't know if you see it. I can't use this hand at all. Just maybe these two fingers a little. Oh, and yes, as I described, these are my nails. I have to cover them because they're very ugly if I don't put something over them. But this is what happens when a facility doesn't do their job. So her husband, Kenny Sr., came and stretched out my limbs. And you don't know how grateful I am and how good that felt. He stretched out my legs, my arms, and it felt so good because the facility wasn't doing it. So to have siblings that will come out and do that for you, that meant the world to me. My brother worked at, I forgot the name of his hospital that he worked at for over a decade. So yeah, he knew what I was going through, and he came to help me. My brother and my sister, they almost brought me to tears because I know they love me, but when you go through something like open heart surgery, ending up on life support, not being able to talk, I couldn't talk, and they had the most patience, and they had the most patience when I was trying to get things across to them. They taught me how to communicate with no words. I wish we could have learned sign language, but we didn't. But they really helped me in communicating to the doctors. My sister would call every day and tell them my wishes when it came to keeping me alive, because there was a time when it didn't look like I was going to make it. I know I talked about this before, but while I was in a coma, my sister said, keep talking to her, even if you don't know, she could hear you. Keep talking to her, and tell her everything you're doing, because there's a chance she could hear you. And I'm not saying she called one day and told this to them. She called every day, multiple times a day to reiterate my wishes, to keep me going, to tell the doctors. She told the doctors, tell her everything you're doing and let her know what you're doing. Okay, they didn't really do it, but that's not here or there. I have pneumonia right now, and that's why I'm having a hard time talking, but I'm getting better, and I will talk better. I have a lot of breathing treatments I'm going through. But that's why I talk like I talk. But my brother and my sister and a handful of family members really showed that they loved me. But my siblings, God gave me some wonderful siblings. Um, my sister kept my brother Philip informed because he was all the way in Georgia, but he kept up and sorry, he kept telling my sister things to tell me. Oh, I'm sorry, it's light. Things to tell me. Um, you know, I'm going through a lot. I went through a lot. And my brother and my sister, they never gave up on me. Even when it looked like I was not going to make it and things were very grim. They never gave up on me. A lot of people don't know what I went through. The nurses were very shocked that I opened my eyes because they didn't think I was going to open my eyes. But my sister never gave up. My brother Les never gave up. I went through things that I never thought I would go through. So when you have siblings or family members, don't wait until a tragedy like what I went through happens. Tell them now. Tell them you love them, but let them know your wishes in case the unthinkable happens. And you may be in great health right now. You may be working and you may be living your life and you don't think anything like this could happen to you. But don't wait until it does happen to you, because you're in good health until you're not. Just have a conversation with your siblings and just tell them, just in case something like this ever happens, this is what I want you to do. It's a nice conversation to have, because I was coming home from work and I was driving and I never thought anything like this could happen to me. One heart attack turned into three in one night, and I went downhill. From then, I had a stroke. My heart stopped, and I was never the same. So, if you have a sibling, talk to them and let them know your wishes. Let them know you love them, because you don't know when you won't be able to talk. I had no voice, could not talk, ended up in a coma on life support. It was very tragic. And, I'm in my third facility now, and it looks like a nice place. But I'm going to tell you something that happened to me 2 days ago. I was in therapy. No, I'm sorry. I was in my room waiting to go to therapy. I had just had lunch, and I was watching a movie on my tablet. and therapy came to get me. So I turned my movie off by hitting some buttons. And then I went to work out with therapy. When I came back, my screen was cracked and my tablet no longer worked. And I was very angry because I loved that tablet. It was so awesome. And I can't replace things like that because I'm on disability. So my bed was not made up when I left, but it was made up when I got back. But that wasn't the problem. When I asked my nurse who was in my room while I was at therapy, she said, with an attitude, nobody was in your room because she's taking up for people, right away. And I said, first of all, there was someone in my room because someone plugged in something. Maintenance was in the hallway this particular day. They used a plug in my room to plug up a machine. And the nurse said, well, I didn't know they did that. I said, well, why did you say anything? You automatically said nobody was in my room. But you didn't know that they plugged up something in my room. And if you didn't know that, you should have stayed quiet. And then another person, I'm going to say, saw how angry I was and was asking me, is everything okay? And then she made a statement, a question. She said a question. I can't say any more about that person. So I questioned the person that made up my bed, but I did it in private. I did it in private for a reason, because she made a statement that let me know a lot about what was going on in my room. And you know when God is around somebody, He puts, God will let you know who His people are. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, another religious girl. But it's okay, because when you believe in God, you know what, I can't describe it, but God knows. God's people know God's people. That's all I can say about that. It's like an aura is on people. And I'm not talking about, I'm sorry, I got to say this word, these phony people that go to church every Sunday and don't do right Monday through Saturday. So I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about the people who are in church and they're using church as a business. It's all about money. It's all about what the next person is wearing, because you're judging that person. So you go home and you find your finest clothes to make sure you outdo Sister Sherry next Sunday. I'm not talking about those people at all. I'm not talking about who's wearing the biggest hat so you can't even see. Who's preaching because of the hat that's in front of you. I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about the people who are up on stage n- n- sorry, sitting in those chairs, acting like they are celebrities when the celebrity is Jesus Christ. I'm not talking about those people because these people go to church. I know I'm getting off track. These people go to church and they act like they are. I can only use the word celebrity. Celebrities. And it's really ridiculous. Because, let me explain something. Church is a building. Because you label it church, it's just a building. That's all it is. It's how you, I'm sorry, it's how you praise God in that building that makes it church. Because you could have church in your closet. You could have church in your living room. My hand is shaking, I'm sorry. You could have church in your living room, in your kitchen. Wherever you feel the presence of the Lord, you can have church. God is there. All you have to do is call on Him. You don't have to be in the presence of a fashion show. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but I'm not talking about those people. I knew this lady didn't do anything to me. I wasn't concerned about the tablet. Yes, I love the tablet. And I spent my last money on that tablet. The last bit of money I had from my disability check. So I couldn't replace that tablet. I'm talking about the disrespect of someone breaking that tablet, them placing it back on my table and not saying anything to me. Not a sorry, not a boo, not anything. I felt so disrespected. I was so angry. Tears were in my eyes all day because I felt so disrespected. Not the fact that I should have had my stuff safe in this room that the insurance is paying for. I don't want to get too deep into this because I know I'm going to start with the tears again. Because I want to let me tell you something. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I grew up in a place called the Valley. And at any time, I would have put hands on these people. Or if I found out who it was that disrespected me that way. Because a simple I'm sorry would have made everything okay. I'm sorry. Mistakes happen. Whoever did it, come to me and own up to, I'm sorry, to what happened. Everybody's human. So anyway, that's what I'm dealing with right now. But I had to get this, I thought I saw something. I had to get this little tablet that doesn't act right. But I was able to get it on sale, and I just have to deal with it, and I'm dealing with it. So I've helped you all long enough, and I am going to let you go now. And I want to thank you for watching this. For watching this video. For those of you who don't know me, this is Queen, A.K.A. Misty, the girl with no teeth, because I had to have them removed in order to have my open heart surgery. The girl who does not wear press-on nails. These are my real nails. The girl who has damaged hands from when I had open heart surgery. The girl who had a stroke and who's trying to stop hiding because I hid myself away because I was embarrassed about how I talked. The girl who's trying to get her book of poetry published because I'm writing 3 books, but I can't do things on disability the way I want to. But with this open heart surgery, they told me I can drive again, I can get back to life. But being on disability, it's hard to do that. But I want you to know that I'm coming out, and I want to develop friends that are not scared to talk to me, who won't talk down to me, because that's what's happening. I got people laughing at me because they don't know how to talk to a person who's had a stroke. So I want real friends. But for now, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to talk to my sister, Venetia, because I like talking to her. And hopefully one day I would like to talk to you if you're not scared to talk to me. So have a great night. I'm going to try to get some sleep because I have therapy in the morning. And whatever it is that you're doing, do it to the best of your ability. And tell your loved ones you love them. You love them. You love them. You love them. Because you never know. Tomorrow you may not be able to say it. And you may go through a tragedy like me. So, have a good
Hello.
night. That's my aide.
Hello, guys.
He is one of the greatest aides out there.
Shout out to everybody.
I got to go now because he's going to take care of me so I can get a good night's sleep. So, God bless y'all and have a great night. From me and my aide. I don't want to say his name because I didn't get permission. So have a good night and God bless y'all.
You can call me Mr. Handsome.
Okay. And he is handsome. Okay. Have a great night, y'all. Good night.